Distinguished visitors from home and abroad, students, faculty, and friends of the library, good evening to you all. I'm Arthur Duff, Head of Library Services at the Lilavati Lalbhai Library. On behalf of our librarian, Tejaswini Joshi, and her team, I welcome you to our library, the knowledge hub, the very center and beating heart of our wonderful campus. The role of the library is not only to be the source of information and the repository of knowledge, but it is also the vehicle for engaging with all our faculties on campus to optimize the use of these resources. Whereas a library may have been thought of as a collection of books, we are now pushing the boundaries of what our library can contain, both physically and virtually. We are actively developing our non-book collections, as well as planning the development of our own library online portal. As you know, the CEPT Exhibition Centre at the library is the place where we promote excellence across all the different disciplines represented on our campus. We host visiting exhibitions as well as those produced by our own faculties. And it's a particular pleasure for us to host the first exhibition from the Faculty of Design, which celebrates the remarkable work of Gajanan Upadhyaya, affectionately known as GU. This is a great opportunity to understand the life of the designer, his thinking and practice, and to see the final results as demonstrated through drawings, prototypes, and the actual finished pieces. As teacher and mentor and guide, his passion and dedication has made a lasting impression on the lives of so many design professionals across India. For those of you on campus, students and faculty, you will be surprised to realize just what an impact Jihu has had on your life when you see that so many of the pieces of furniture used across the campus have been designed by him. This exhibition, Rational Production, the Furniture of Gajanan Upadhyaya, has been curated by Professor Kaulav Bhagat, faculty in charge of furniture, thank you, in the Faculty of Design, and assisted by Prachi Patel, Tanushri Solanki, and Chandni Chabra. A great part of GU's creative life was spent at NID, where he was one of the founders of the furniture program there. As a result, they have an extensive archive of his designs, some of which they are generously lending to us as part of the exhibition. We are most grateful to the director of NID, Dr. Praveen Nahar, and his team, who have facilitated the sharing of their resources. We hope that we find many more opportunities for collaboration with NID in the future. Following GU's retirement from NID, he has had a very fruitful association with TDW, the design workshop, for whom he has acted as design consultant. We would like to thank Ismat Kambata of TDW for her support in the exhibition. It goes without saying that the production of such an exhibition can only happen with considerable commitment of time and effort from a great number of people. From our side, may I thank Urvi Sheth, director of the CEPT workshop, and Junaid Bhai, the manager of their dedicated exhibition team, who has delivered the production of the exhibition on site. In addition, all of this has been supported by the campus office team, and coordinating for the library is Payal Dan. Thanks to you for all coming and for your continuing support of CEPT's commitment to building a better world through the agency of our 5 faculties. The exhibition remains open until the 22nd of January. Please come again and bring your friends. And in particular, may I invite all the students of the Faculty of Design to become ambassadors for the exhibition across the campus, bringing your friends from other faculties to understand and enjoy the wonders of what we are promoting here. And now, our president, Dr. Bimal Patel, will welcome GU to the campus and introduce him to us. He will be followed by Ms. Tanishka Kachru, the head of NID Press, who will talk about GU at NID. And finally, Professor Anand Belhe, our Dean, Faculty of Design at CEPT University, will offer a vote of thanks. We'll then light the lamp, and then the exhibition will begin. Please, can I welcome Dr. Patel?
Thank you very much, Arthur. And friends, Thank you, Upadhyaya Sahib, for coming here, and thank you for the exhibition. Thank you for your work. I don't have as well prepared a speech as Arthur's, but I'd like to say a few words about my association with GU and something a little bit about what I have learned from him. My association with GU started when I was designing the High Court, and the furniture for the High Court had to be designed, and I somehow managed to convince the government that NID should do the furniture, and within NID, GU should lead the furniture design work for the Gujarat High Court. That's when I really got to know him. And as we were working on the designs, I realized that I was working with a absolute genius at his work. Somebody who had such excellent ability to bring together demands, requirements, functional requirements, nature of materials, understanding of forms, all of this seamlessly brought together in whatever he was designing. It was very clear. I was thrilled that I was working with such a terrific designer. I was a young chap and I was learning from him. As we started working on the design and produced the furniture, at one stage he came and told me that he was going to retire from NID. I think that was 25 years ago. And I said, what are you going to do after this? And he says, I don't know. I said, why don't you come and work in our office? Why don't you come and spend time? He said, what will I do? I said, I don't know what you will do, but you'll be part of the office. And I felt that many of the principles, his principles of design, were things that our office also shared, and he had a very strong command over those principles. And if I had somebody like that in the office that people could go to, he would somehow enrich the office. I had no idea what he would do. At that time, I was designing the Ahmedabad Management Association building. I was inspired by some of the building systems that I'd seen at NID. I didn't know how to design them myself, and I thought maybe you can help me design some of the building systems. So the windows, doors, I said, approximately this is what I want to do, but I don't know how to do it, so could you help me do it? And he was very generous teacher. He was he's always been a great teacher. And now I had a teacher in HCP who I could work along with. He ended up spending almost 25 years, I don't know how much. We worked together. Midway, he started working with TDW and ISMAT, which had also grown out of HCP. And it was such a delight. I told him that he should not be part of normal functioning of the office. We would not make him responsible for production of drawings and delivery of drawings. He would just be a resource person that a lot of people could use, come up to, and he was the person who went and enriched people's thinking with their work. And he did that for many, many years. He also worked on some buildings and designs, and that association was terrific. It was great to be continuously reminded that you derive your designs from all sorts of functional requirements, all sorts of understanding of construction. You don't start with a form and go backwards. You start with all the requirements and slowly you bring in the form. In a building, you would design from inside and then you'd go outside and go inside again, go back and forth. He would always say that if you can make a thing useful in one way, that anybody can do. If a feature of your design makes it useful in two ways, that's good. But what you have to try to do is to make that same feature useful in three different ways. Then you have done something. Until you have achieved that, you have to keep working and find out some good reason for doing it. The rigor with which he would pursue each and every detail was absolutely inspiring. At one stage, I mean, he was always somebody I could rely on. I had started working on CEPT, and I had the task of redoing the facade of this office building, of our CEPT building here. I knew that's always going to be a contentious issue. So I asked some of the teachers here whether they would help redesign the facade in a way that I said, these doors are not working. In my office, if I sit in my office, it's either dark, or if I open the doors, it's dusty and hot. So can I have some windows here? Can you design some windows? I was determined not to do it myself. I asked some of the teachers and said, no, we are they were worried. What would other designers say? It would be a very contentious thing. Finally, I went to GU and I said, GU, I need this facade designed properly. I will do it. No problem. Tell me what the task is and I'll finish it up. And so he helped me even in that. Many, many years of association with you, many years of working with you, many things that I have learned from you. I'm absolutely delighted that we have set up this exhibition. Thank you to all the people involved, everybody in the library, Kaulav and the team, and Anand and everybody else who has helped make this happen, Ismat, for bringing this exhibition together. I'm absolutely delighted that my teacher and a person that I love so much and who is a friend of mine, we are having his exhibition here. So it's a personal treat. It's not just having a great design here. Thank you very much, Arthur.
It's a real pleasure to be here, and for one of the people who is loved by everybody in NID, and who I've had the pleasure of interacting with because of my involvement with the archives at NID over the last about 10 years now. And we've had many conversations. I've recorded the conversations, and we've also spent a lot of time in the archive store itself, talking about the furniture there and many other things as well. So thank you for that, GU. It's been kind of a living history with the experiment with you. I just want to say a few words about NID Archives, because this exhibition is really, for us, it's something that marks a kind of pathway that possibly all institutions in the city, which is so important for the history of modernism in our country, could sort of embark upon, which is this sort of institutional collaboration, because the archives coming together narrate stories and which are important not just for this city but much beyond it as well. In the National Institute of Design, which, as you know, is one of the early modernist design institutions in India, the archive has been an important place for production over the last 10 years. And we've been trying to make it more and more accessible, publishing from it, producing exhibitions. And GU has always been very, very helpful in any of the kind of work that we have produced from it, be it the Nakashima exhibition 4 years ago, or the smaller exhibitions that we keep producing for convocation. He would always come around and help identify what is a prototype and what is an original, or a reproduction. So those, sort of complications of unraveling histories, he's been very, very helpful with that. I'd just quickly like to talk about his association with NID, because there are a lot of young people here who may be hearing about it perhaps for the first time. He joined NID in 1963 after graduating from MS University, Baroda, as an architect. And in 1964, he worked with George Nakashima to develop a collection of modern furniture, and he was very interested in furniture design, and he went to train with the Royal Danish Academy of Fine Arts in Copenhagen and practiced from Denmark from 1966 to 74. I was born in 74, and that's when he came back. So on his return, he taught in the furniture design program at NID until retirement in 1996. And I remember one conversation with you, Gio. We were looking at a chair made by Paul Kehrholm that came to NID along with the MoMA exhibition collection. And he said, oh, he was my teacher. And I said, but Gio, your furniture doesn't look anything like his. So he told me something which has stayed with me, is that the teacher will show you a vision, but you have to make your own path to that vision. I think his teaching practice, in conversation with many people who are probably around my age who studied in NID, that's one of the impressions that I also have of his teaching practice. He's never prescriptive. He'll never tell you what to do directly, but you have to find your own pathway. But the kind of values that he holds is what he transfers to the next generation. So thank you for that, Gio. Thank you.
Respected guests of honor, fellow colleagues, and dear students, it's my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks on this wonderful occasion. Thank you, CEP, for giving me this special responsibility today. I'd like to begin with my guru and mentor. My special thanks to Gajanan Upadhyaya for being here today. GU, as we all lovingly call him, is known to shy away from any publicity. However, today I am representing the entire fellow students and disciples of GU of the last 35 to 40 years, and I'm only trying to show token of appreciation in the humblest way. As we all know, knowledge acquired through experience and expert guidance translates into learning. So it's not only what you learn, but how you learn and whose experience and guidance you learn under that matters. GU, our journey with you through learning, remains with us throughout our lives in all scales of design practices. We are eternally grateful to have learned from you. I personally would like to thank you for two most important lessons of my life. First, when I became your student, you told me never to be afraid to fail. You said, go ahead, make mistakes, learn from them. It made me bold, and I think it has paid off well. The second one was when I shared with you that I had started to teach. You said, don't ever keep back any information when you are teaching. Share everything that you can, and it will only grow. GU, till date, I am following both these instructions. Thank you. Thank you, GU, for everything. I would like to thank Mrs. Upadhyaya, Kumudini as we fondly call her, for encouraging me to share GU's work with you all today. My dear colleagues and dear students, an idea like this to celebrate some great personality and his work has to germinate in somebody's head. So let me start by thanking Professor Arthur Duff. It was Arthur in his new avatar as the library director who came with this idea. When this idea of sharing GU's work came up, I went to 2 offices immediately. The first stop was naturally at the CEPT President's office. I would like to thank Dr. Bimal Patel for immediately agreeing to totally support us and to celebrate GU's work. The second stop was at the NID Director's office. Friends, I got an unconditional support there too, and I am obliged to NID for taking part in this exhibition and attending this event in good numbers. I sincerely hope that NID and CEPT could cooperate on many such design events in the future. An event like this cannot happen overnight. The wheels start rolling back months in advance. It requires planning and a bird's eye for details. We are fortunate enough to be backed by a team of very capable and motivated colleagues at CEPT and at Faculty of Design who have tirelessly toiled to put up this exhibition, which you will be seeing soon. I would like to thank Kaulav Bhagat, Program Chair Furniture Design, along with his capable team comprising of Prachi Patel, Tanushri Solanki, and Chandni Chabra. Similarly, I would like to thank the NID team whose unconditional support was at most importance here, and most of the early part of GU's work was all done at NID. Special thanks to the then acting director Vijay Singh Katiyar and the current director Praveen Nahar to agree to this concept immediately. Special thanks to Praveen Singh Solanki, Kanjibai Dasadia, and others who have contributed to this exhibition. I would also like to thank Tanishka for joining us here today. After completing his innings at NID, GU did a lot of work at TDW and HCP. I would like to thank Ismat Kambata, Director TDW Furniture, Anuya Naik, and Ruchir Bhavsar for their support and timely help. I would also like to thank HCP Archives team for their support. And lastly but importantly, I would like to thank the CEPT Workshop Director Urvi Seth and the CEPT Workshop team for their involvement and support to physically build this exhibition together. Thank you all once again for coming here to celebrate GU's work. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. And if we could now, in the time-honored tradition, light the lamp, and I'd invite GU to join us, and maybe Bimal Bhai and Manu Bhai.
need for furniture is the determining factor how furniture design is actually also evolving in India. There was no furniture industry in India till about 25 years back. In the last 20 years, there are almost 1,000 furniture companies that have sprung up in India. They all need furniture designers.
Gajanan Upadhyaya's furniture really timeless in its nature. So people in today's context can see how one can achieve that timelessness quality in their product and furniture, which can really serve the purpose for the user at large.